Enfield heater connections. I have a black with yellow trace and a blue with red trace heater feed cable, and my heater, as you can see, sits on the front bulkhead immediately below the passenger compartment. So it sits, you can see the blower here, and the heating system is all in it. Motor's on one end, and it's connected here, and the cables disappear into the front wiring loom and disappear to, I'm assuming this is block A and block B of the front looms, because there's three plugs here, so they must plug in here and then go down the center loom. They go down the center loom and they pop out on the passenger side. So on the passenger side, you can see I've got a brown with a blue with a brown trace there, and that comes through to the the main feed, which is the first feed here. So it comes through to this feed here, this cable here. That's the blue with the red feed. So the thick blue with red feed goes onto the left-hand terminal of the thing. I'm pretty certain that's your first 48 volt charge point, because that goes straight out to the back to B4, I think, on the back corner. On the driver's side, the cable we're looking for is the black, I think, with the yellow trace, which is round this side. There you go, black with yellow. So that's out the central loom. Black with yellow comes out the other side, follows round the cable, and that pops out and connects onto this one here. In my case, which is unaltered, it's popping onto this very, very first cable here, which is this cable here, which is, I can't see it, but I'll have a look in a minute with a different, what's his name. So that comes on to B1 minus. So I'm pretty certain that's 48 volts. Better light source this time. Right, so at the back, you're right, I've got these two small ones, no relay. This one's the heater one. We've got a blue with pretty certain that's a red trace, because it's red here, but it looks like it's been spliced on there, so that's obviously burnt out. So that's a repair there by the looks of things, but it's basically the blue with red there, and then I've got a blue with red that goes from there to this first terminal on my square one that you've got there. Okay, I've got a funny little thing here, no idea what it does, but it seems to work, so whatever it is, it can stay there, and I don't really care. And then I've got a diode between this first one and this one, second one here. I've got my big fat diode on Y2, which is connected, you can see, by this dirty great cable here. You can see it's a good 8mm across, and that connects to this one here, which is where's that cable go? That cable is Y1. Okay, that's cables Y1. And then I've got at this end, I've got this switch, which if you hit it, it clicks out and releases, and you have to pull it in to reset it. That's where my two cables from my brushes come to, and my single cable then comes out and goes to what I've called here AA. I think I've had to use the right ones that are on the map. So that's my positive feed, because there's my positive cable. And then I've had to replace this one here, you see. But each of my pairs have a big one with one of these underneath it. So I've got, on the next one, I've got a little one, and then one of these with a little one underneath it. And then you can see here, I've got a little one on top and one underneath it. Okay, so they're obviously capacitors that go over it and deal with those. And then on the dash, I've got this button here, which you can see at the back. There's those red cables. You can see it's clearly a push button switch. And then heater wise, I've got the heater, as you can see there, and then I've got a pipe that comes up and goes down, and a pipe that comes up has obviously got too hot at some point, but blows vaguely sort of down into the passenger bay. So you can see under there, it presumably sucks air in there rather than blows heat out. And the pipe sort of comes down. Where's my light? The pipe comes down here somewhere, but I haven't touched them. That's where they were. And they're what, about 60, 70 mil across. Okay, and there's my heater takeoff into a chocolate block, which is screwed to the bulkhead. So all nicely, tastefully done, as you can imagine. Okay, I obviously have in the middle the chocolate block connections, which I think are A, B, and C. And then I've got what looks like some sort of connector block over there where they all come in. I haven't needed to investigate. To be honest, I haven't touched any of mine electrics other than the contactors. I've had all these contactors apart. Okay, so all of these contactors I've had right out. Underneath here, you can take these off. These come off. You can get to these. These are the bolts you have to undo. They undo here. So lube these a little bit, but they'll undo quite easily. Right, so here's the tool I made. You can see it's a 7/16 spanner that had broken. I cut it into the C shape, cut the little knobbles on the end, as you can see, and they fit quite neatly into there, like that. So they fit really quite accurately and neatly into the end bit there, as you can see, and then you can twist. You get quite a good grip on it like that, and it operates very much like a plumber's C spanner. Okay, so it literally just drops in there, and the little C shapes in there. You want to be really careful, but they undo like little lock nuts, and they do actually fit in really well, and that worked really well for me. But you could equally make that as a tubular spanner. So they fit in there. I don't know whether you'll see that on the video. Okay, they fit in there like that. So they're designed to fit in there. So I just use that with an angle grinder very carefully. Okay, but that's what they're for. And they work there, and they work on these little 4-end ones. So I think it's just on these ones here. I don't think it's on the other ones, because these ones have got normal nuts, so you can undo them no problem. Okay, but to take them apart, you have to take this bolt out here. You can do each end one at a time. You don't need to do both ends. You do each end one at a time. And you have to be a little bit careful just to get hold of the nut carefully. Really thin tubular, what's his name, but you have to be careful not to crack these. They're really hard sometimes. Here they want to try and chip. I had one or two. That one I think is slightly damaged already. And you know, I'm sure we can find spares, but you know, I'd rather not at the moment. So there you go. Right, I'll shut up with you.